Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel. I got a few topics for you in this latest Moon Lambo Hot Jam. So, Bitboy Crypto. I'll assume most of you know who he is at this point. He's got one of the largest cryptocurrency YouTube channels on the planet with over 1.1 million subscribers right now. And this guy, he is very bullish on XRP. In fact, he's stated that he thinks XRP, this market cycle, could be going to over $30. And I don't know if that's going to happen, but that certainly does not sound wacky to me. Because look, if Bitcoin is going to get up to over $100,000, and maybe it will, and Ethereum's going to get up to over $1 trillion market cap. Well, if those things happen, I won't be surprised in the least to see $20, $30 XRP. I don't think that's impossible. There's definitely way more than enough money on the entire planet to make something like that happen. But Bitboy Crypto, I want to talk about this thing because he's had a tremendous change of heart, and because he was anti-Ripple and anti-XRP. And he's just had a major flip, and this is always welcomed. But the reason that he flipped, he articulated it earlier today, and I had a couple thoughts on it. Also, he has stated that Ripple, he has an inside source that Ripple is going to be releasing their own stablecoin. Yeah, I definitely got something to say about that. And then also there's a hardware wallet ledger. Hardware wallet manufacturer ledger, that's what I tried to say. They are going to be offering support for the Spark token, so I just wanted to mention that as well. But before I go any further, I want to be clear, I don't have a financial background of any kind. I'm not offering financial advice, and you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who makes YouTube videos as a fun hobby. And so Bitboy Crypto, he's all over crypto media. In fact, here's just one of many articles that I came across recently. This is from Coinpedia. XRP price analysis. XRP is going to kill it this year, says popular analyst. And so they go on to talk about Ben Armstrong, who is Bitboy Crypto, and he does believe that the $30 mark could certainly be hit. And I don't think that's bonkers. He actually, again, like I said, could be right. And so him getting the word out to all sorts of new people about XRP, well, I think it's fantastic. I'm pro XRP. It's my largest crypto holding. Not like I'm going to hate on that. And you can see this video he put out. This is one I was referencing. He put this out 11 hours ago. It's already got 84,000 views. And he was articulating why he went from not being such a fan of XRP to being quite a big fan of XRP. And it had to do with his own bias, his words. He said it was his own bias, effectively. And he had this analogy that I'm not going to perfectly repeat back, but check out his video if you want to see it perfectly articulated. But he's basically saying, just to imagine if, there's two sports teams. I can't remember which ones he cited. And you don't like a particular sports team, but all the people that do like that particular sports team, they're articulating all of the reasons that they're gonna be big winners that year. And then he's sitting there like with his own bias. He's like, well, why am I going to believe you? Like you're Mr. Pro that team. Like why am I just going to take your word for this? But then he said, it wasn't until that. An unbiased, like a more neutral party said, hey, there's really something to what Ripple's doing. There's really something to XRP. And so once that happened, it made him just kind of open his mind a little bit more. And so I get what he's saying. I guess the way that I approach this, though, is... unless I think somebody's trolling or outright intentionally being deceptive, like it's somebody I know that I don't feel like I can generally trust them. Even if somebody's pro a particular cryptocurrency, that's not going to make me not think I should listen to them. Just my humble opinion, so I approach it a little bit differently. I would just want to look at the facts and then come to a decision by myself. But look, bias is a real thing. We've all got our own bias. Like I'm biased in favor of XRP right now, but there was a time when I was a blank slate in 2017, and I just wanted to learn as much as I could about Ripple and XRP and crypto and form my own opinions. And I didn't want anything particular to be true. I didn't want XRP to be a good investment or a bad investment. I just wanted to find out what it was. That was pretty much it. And then the more I researched, the more I was like, oh my gosh, this thing's going to stick around forever as long as there's actual utility, because utility represents value. And if something's valuable, humans don't just kick it to the curb. And so the asset XRP makes that value possible, that utility possible. So if it's an asset and it's traded in open markets, why would that go away? And so I had this epiphany. It's just where I recognize that there are business models that can exist that otherwise could not exist, without the adoption of a decentralized cryptocurrency with an open market price. And so once I had that epiphany moment, I was like, wow, crypto is never going away. And I had that thanks to XRP after doing that research here. And so I think it's always worth listening to people, whether they're pro or con something, unless you know it's somebody that you've already deemed to not be trustworthy. Why wouldn't you listen to them? And so either way, so I said, like, I'm still glad that he's come around. So don't take this wrong. I'm certainly not ripping on the guy. I'm glad that he's continuing to learn about Ripple and XRP and the way that it's being used. But this other thing that he's been saying about Ripple launching a stablecoin, and I'm not sure how many of you have heard this. It's been talked about pretty widely on social media within the XRP community. But Bitboy Crypto, he says he's got an inside source that has indicated to him that Ripple is going to issue their own stablecoin, and he's supposed to have a video coming out about that soon, perhaps even tomorrow. He said he's going to be dropping that. Yeah, it looks like it's still not out right now. So I'll definitely watch that. But it's a Ripple, what did he call it? Ripple stablecoin white paper, or I can't remember exactly what he said that this thing's called. But I sat there upon hearing this, and I was just like, why would Ripple do that? This doesn't make sense to me. And so I actually have an opinion from a Ripple employee on this exact topic, and like, this doesn't make any sense. So I don't know if he's got a bad source and it's false information and it's something that he believes, or is it the case that this Ripple employee, I'm going to show you what he had to say, this Ripple employee that is publicly talking on Twitter, is he wrong? I guess either is possible, but the Ripple employee in question I'm going to highlight here is Matt Hamilton, and he knows his stuff. I respect his opinion. He's one of the guys I learned a ton from. I mean, I still learn from him all the time, just a wealth of knowledge, but especially my early days, I just learned a ton from him about crypto and XRP specifically and what Ripple is doing. And so there's somebody named Right Coast Crypto who wrote, so I was the one who asked Bitboy Crypto if Ripple did release a stablecoin, how would it affect the price of XRP? His explanation obviously wasn't too helpful, so can someone please explain the concept to me and whether or not it is good for my XRP holdings? Or if it is, would have a negative or no effect. That's a broken sentence. Thanks, guys. Of course, I got no credit, LOL. And so I actually did talk about this on my channel. At that point, I didn't know where it was coming from. I had not been informed. I hadn't seen his video at that point in time where he was talking about this white paper that's going to be released or whatever. And so I just said the truth, which is why would Ripple issue a stablecoin that doesn't make functionally any sense? Ripple has every incentive on the planet to support a healthy XRP ecosystem. Utilizing XRP as a bridge currency is what they're pushing for. That's been their core, at the core of what Ripple's been doing for the better part of a decade now. So plugging in a stable coin, I mean, unless it was going to be used in some sort of small capacity in a corridor where XRP functionally couldn't be used, but then like what is that going to look like? So they issue this stable coin. Where does it get its price? Is it going to be like what is it backed by something? And so it just, none of it made any sense to me. So if it's actually a thing that's going to happen, fine, I'll be open-minded. I'll cover it on if it's actually true, yeah, of course I'll talk about it. I'm sharing with you my high level of skepticism at this point. And so Matt Hamilton was tagged here and by Right Coast Crypto and said, hey, Matt, could you give me some kind of insight on this? And Matt Hamilton wrote the following. It would not make any sense Ripple issuing their own stablecoin, but the XRP ledger itself was the first blockchain to introduce stablecoins, and there has been United States dollars and euros on there for nearly a decade. And so indeed, the XRP ledger has a built-in decentralized exchange, and you can issue anything you want on it, representations of anything. And so yes, that's true. There are representations even of fiat currency on the ledger, and so you can absolutely issue a stablecoin. But here's a Ripple employee saying this doesn't make any sense. No. So I guess there's a small chance, he could just not be in the know of something else that's happening with other people in the company that would actually launch this thing. I guess technically that's possible, but I'm highly skeptical of that. I can't see how this would make any logical sense. And so then somebody named Alex wrote, can you let Bitboy Crypto know this? Somehow he's missing a lot of XRP history, but able to shill the idea of Ripple having a stablecoin that's coming out, amassing a following isn't a benchmark for one's IQ levels. And so that's why I'm going. Like, I'm not going to assign incentive. I have no reason to believe that Bitboy Crypto's, trying to deceive people. But if this is real, great. I would, awesome. I want to learn about it and find out why Ripple's doing this. But if it's not, I want to know, like, who is tricking Bitboy Crypto and why, so we'll see here. And then Matt Hamilton wrote, Ben has had a gazillion tweets from people suggesting he get me on his show. I have direct messaged him, but I've had no response from him at all, either public or private. So there we are. I mean, we should know soon. Like he said, again, the video should be dropping by tomorrow. And so if it does, I'm going to listen to it, and I'm sure I'll have something to say about it. But at this point, I think my skepticism is rightfully placed, but we'll see what happens. Shout out to BondCrypt XRP for sending this next piece. I'm going to be real brief on this. I just wanted to mention it, but there you go. Flare network support for Ledger Nano S and Ledger Nano X. And I have a bunch of Ledger Nano S's, so this is good stuff here, And this was expected too. Like, I mean, I always thought, I hadn't really talked about this before, but yeah, I thought, of course, why would Ledger not ultimately allow you to self-custody Flare, the Spark token, which, it's as far as I know, it's the most widely adopted airdrop in the history of the crypto asset class. So I was like, yeah, why wouldn't a ton of exchanges end up trading this thing here? And so there are instructions here, docs.flare.network, and you can see the URL at the top of the screen there. You can check it out if you want to take a gander. So there you go. Adoption is a common, but I'll go ahead and wrap up here. I am not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.